Underneath, she is wearing a matching bra and underwear set that is the same light blue color as the can.
Fate.
You want to hear the plot twist?
Yep.
She doesn't even own that underwear. She didn't even put that underwear on this morning.
Whoa, dude. Hello.
Hey there. Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
It is so great to feel your presence because we can't see you, but we know you're there.
We know you're there.
We can't see you, but we feel you, and we appreciate you. Who are we? Well, that's Sarah, and she loves books.
And that's Hope. She loves talking to me about books. Each episode, I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them. And welcome to today's episode, which will be our last one before we go on hiatus. Until October, spooky season.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to come back crazy with it.
And we're going to go fucking wild.
Bonkers.
I already have the picks. I'm already there. I'm already in it.
Oh,
I mean, like, what is August but not a prelude to the fall vibes, the spooky vibes?
I'm with you.
Well, today's book, as you noticed, Hope, because we work off of the same document, is not on the document.
No, a mystery to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. We are reading My Energy Drink Sparks My Kitty by Kaysie Reads. And I want you to know that the capitalization of this book in reference to anywhere I found it is capital My, capital Energy. Like, first letter of each word is capitalized until you get to My Kitty. Then My is lowercase and Kitty is capitalized.
Well, the capitalization on Kitty, I think we can all agree is correct. So.
Yeah. It sounds like My Energy Drink Sparks My Kitty.
Sparks My Kitty.
Kitty. Meow.
I love that.
This is by Kaysie Reads. I will give you a small bio here in a second. Just for anybody who's worried about those content warnings we give every time, don't worry. This time, it's just sexual content.
It's just sexy.
It's just a sexy, good time. On Storygraph, we've got a 3.7. Goodreads, we've got a 3.84. So those are pretty decent for... I think this was 25 pages.
Wow.
20 pages maybe of the actual book. Like, I always have to count off the pages on the ends, you know, that are like, here's about the author. Here's other work they've done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a little bit about that author. Kaysie Reads is a bookstagrammer and book talker that loves to read and review crazy books. She lives in Michigan with her husband and 2 sons. She has 3 cats and a strong energy drink addiction.
Amazing.
Girl, don't we all know? Okay. I, though, would like to start by saying that she had a precursor, not a prologue. It's like a note.
Sure, like an author's note?
Kind of like an author's note, but just like a little scribble. It wasn't like a whole note. It was like a sticky note. It was like,
yeah.
I'm here for a second. And she says, I happen to enjoy energy drinks a lot, so much that I wrote this crazy book about fucking one. And I think, and then she, of course, dedicated it to women who enjoy a good energy drink. Have you ever had an energy drink to get through a shift at work, Hope?
I mean, my go-to caffeine is just truly, I make one whole pot of coffee and then I drink it. But I have dabbled in energy drinks, most especially in college.
I have never had an energy drink.
You gotta be careful. I remember the first time I had a 5-hour energy was in college, and like being very specific about only drinking half of it per the instructions and then waiting and being very scared that my heart was going to explode.
Yeah, I will also say that I don't drink anything other than really water. Occasionally I'll have a lemonade or a Sprite, but I don't do any caffeine at all, not even like tea. And so because this is why, and I'm about to HIPAA violate my own father, but my dad, when I was very young and my parents were still together, so many, many a year ago, that my dad was taken to the ER in the middle of the night. He used to be addicted to like Pepsi, like Pepsi products. And so I guess he thought he was having a heart attack, and they took him in and they were like, no, you've literally drank way too much caffeine. Like you just do way too much. It scared the living shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
And my siblings. I know this for a fact. Well, maybe not my brother. He drinks way too much coffee. But my siblings and I, then we went to a household of like our mom was into diet culture. So we already like barely anything to eat that was kid friendly in the fridge and stuff. But then she took away the pop.
Right. So nothing left really.
No, there was like nothing sugary enjoyable in life to my siblings and I. And so from there on out, I have been so terrified of caffeine.
Understandable.
And so, yeah, 5-hour energies, Red Bulls, all of that stuff scares the living shit out of me. And so I applaud people who can do it. I do feel like we have lived in a weird universe, specifically you and I, because we went to college during a time when they were like mixing energy drinks with
and
like
alcohol.
Hardcore liquor. And I'm not talking like a vodka Red Bull. I'm talking like
about a Four Loko.
Four fucking Loko.
We're talking about Four Loko specifically is what we're talking about.
I was just telling our friend Addie this the other day. I went to the dentist a couple of weeks ago and she was explaining how, like what she was, the chemicals she was putting in my mouth to explain how safe they were. And I told her, I really don't give a shit. I am the kid of the 90s. I went to school at a state school in the early 2010s. I have put things in my body that no one should know about. Okay. We did jungle juice parties where they get those big tubs and put in unknown liquor and you just scoop out a glass.
Liquids in a tub.
Anyway,
in a tub.
You would think I wouldn't give a fuck about energy drinks, but that's where I draw the line.
It's different because caffeine is very stimulating, so it's
not
the same.
There are so many things that are stimulating that we put in our bodies during that time frame. So true. Okay. So before we get too far into this, I do want you to go over some of this because I just got thinking, I don't really know much about the world of energy drinks. All I know is that Red Bull gives you wings.
First of all.
And that's it. That's really it.
Well, welcome to my report titled, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Health risks associated with energy drink consumption.
Does Mountain Dew?
I mean, Mountain Dew has caffeine and they also make energy drinks. Mostly it's just
energy drinks?
Yeah, Sarah.
Hey, I just told you I don't know shit about energy drinks. I only know like Mountain Dew the pop.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just like famously viewed as a high octane beverage all the time. I don't really know why. I don't think it's more caffeinated than anything else. But yeah, they make energy drinks.
Okay, I trust you.
That's the end of my research.
That's all I learned today.
Mountain Dew makes energy drinks. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's it. Great.
Anyway, thank you to my sources, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Harvard Health Publishing, and the National Library of Medicine. One of the first findings while researching the risks of energy drinks that came up was a review in the National Library of Medicine titled The Dark Side of Energy Drinks, a comprehensive review of their impact on the human body. I'm just going to start right there.
I would assume.
The FDA considers up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day safe for most healthy adults, but teens should limit intake to about 100 milligrams or less. Most energy drinks have somewhere between 50 and 150 milligrams of caffeine, in addition to a bunch of other stimulants like guarana and taurine and stuff like that. According to the CDC, nearly 1,500 kids aged 12 to 17 went to emergency rooms in 2011 for energy drink related issues.
Oh my God.
So yeah, there's a lot of potential risks when consuming energy drinks. And I'm happy to share some bad things that can happen if you drink too many of them. You have to consider it's not just the caffeine. Obviously that's a big part of it, but it's really bad to have other stimulants in it like taurine and guarana or whatever that's called. It's a bunch of things happening at once to get you all amped up on energy. So thing number one that can happen, which I think will not surprise you, is cardiovascular problems, arrhythmias, atrial fibrillations, aortic dissections, cardiac arrests, and sudden cardiac death have been reported in young and otherwise healthy people who have had too much caffeine. Maybe some of those kids. that caffeine and stimulants can cause neurological and behavioral changes. So obviously, if you're drinking a lot of caffeine, you might have a harder time going to sleep. You might have insomnia. You might have anxiety or tremors or seizures or manic psychosis.
Yeah.
Overstimulation of the renal function can happen, which causes kidney issues. Not great. Acute organ inflammation can happen, including in your liver or your stomach or your pancreas or your kidney. And there are some rare but recorded cases of dermatitis or autoimmune disorders as a result of drinking too many energy drinks, like too frequently. Like,
I have to
really
imagine
using it a lot.
Well, yeah, and I have to imagine that is not only I'm not a doctor. What am I fucking saying?
I can't believe that's true. I can't believe you're not a doctor.
I don't have a PhD yet. I haven't quite. I have thought about getting a PhD just to call myself doctor.
Just to really Joe Biden with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I have to believe that some of these are ripple effects of like, okay, if you're not sleeping, then you're not getting the rest and the things that you need. So then you do get some of these other things that are going to make you sick that may make autoimmune disorders happen.
It definitely stacks.
Yeah.
Not to mention there's a risk for some acute caffeine intoxication. You can become addicted to it, obviously, because if you don't continue to maintain a pretty consistent level of caffeine on a daily basis, then you'll start having caffeine headaches, something I know about quite intimately. Ooh. So if you have like really, really high amounts of caffeine all the time and then you stop doing that, the crash out can be pretty bad. So I have pretty much a great bottom line from Harvard Health Publishing, which is if you have heart problems or high blood pressure, avoid energy drinks. If you are healthy and need energy, it's okay to have an energy drink on occasion, but really try to not have more than one a day and really try not to make it a long-term habit. Generally speaking, a cup of coffee or tea and also things like exercising and good nutrition and healthy habits are all supremely better and healthier ways to get more energy. And the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that adolescents just don't consume energy drinks because it'll make their little hearts explode. And that's my research.
Well, and I think one thing I think about as I consider all the fears I have around energy drinks is like I have tremendous anxiety as it is. And my body already has so many reactions when I'm anxious. True. So why would I ever do this?
You don't need the additional stimulation. And like, not to put fear in everyone's hearts, but if you maybe have a heart condition you don't know about, you might find out about it if you drink a whole lot of energy drinks and then have heart episodes. So just keep it low key with your energy drinks.
I had a friend in college who had a heart condition, and she had a long-term boyfriend who's now her husband, and they are relationship goals in my mind. But she, on occasion, when she'd get drunk, would be like, I'm going to get a vodka Red Bull. And we'd all have to be like, no, stop. Like, we'd all have to be like, stop. Because it was also her drink that would make her cry. Everybody has that drink that like makes you flip.
Doing the opposite impacts of what alcohol does to your body and what caffeine does to your body. And also just not tasty.
The only time we could get her reined in is we'd be like, Brian, tell her to stop. And Brian would be like, all right, hold on. Let me go get my girl. Like, it was so funny because I remember she did it on my 21st birthday. And I was like, no.
Not the vodka Red Bulls, no.
I was like, no. And guess where we were? In downtown Des Moines, circa 2017.
Ooh, where were you?
Beer Can Alley.
No, I hate it there. No offense to Beer Can Alley.
It was the single time I ever went to Beer Can Alley.
I'm not a country girl, and so that's just my personal problem.
It was in Beer Can Alley. I don't think it's there anymore.
Good for it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. The hyper realistic,
hyper
local situation for Des Moines. Anyway, so hopping back into our story, I was talking to you about if you've ever used energy drinks during certain shifts.
Illicit energy drinks, not during shifts, unless you count college as a shift, in which case, yes.
Did you ever have to work overnights when we worked at the same place?
Not overnights. I would work really late or I would work really early, but even through all of that, I would usually just drink a lot of coffee and then maybe go get a pop to supplement later, but never drank the newsroom coffee because it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I obviously don't drink coffee, but
Sure.
I would do a lot of sugar because I had the 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift.
Candy.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of chocolate time in my life.
I don't think I've eaten more candy than my whole career in news, actually.
Yeah. And
I work at a bakery.
And we had that little like station upstairs. You could just go pop one, and it was just so easy. But also you're sitting at a desk forever. And sometimes you're just waiting for certain things to happen.
Yeah.
So you're like, I could go for some munchies.
Yeah, it's like I'm bored. And when I'm bored, I'm hungry and or thirsty and or both.
Absolutely. So our main character, I'm going to disclose, she does not have a name. To my knowledge, I did not see a single name for her.
It could be any of us.
It could be you. It could be me. It could be your mother. It could be your neighbor. It could be your sister. But for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to call her Suzanne. Okay. I thought that was a nice little.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, she is ready for her break from her undefined job that we don't know if it is like a blue collar job, a white collar job. We don't know if she's working in an office. We don't know.
She's like Barbie. She can be anything.
She could. And she heads to the break room, which is shockingly empty. But she just kind of shrugs it off and heads to the vending machine where there is one energy drink left. And it's her favorite brand, Spark Sip. And it's the seasonal flavor that she loves. And she's like, this is just like meant to be. I'm meant to have this. So she eagerly gets it and cracks it open and takes a sip. She's sitting and enjoying her energy drink when she realizes it's a little too quiet. And she goes out into the hallway and calls for one of her coworkers and no one responds. So what would you do if you were her? You're like, this is weird. There's like no one around.
I mean, I am not fun, so I would just take my drink back to my desk. Although personally in this specific universe, I'm a little bit bamboozled at the passage of time and or if she just didn't notice there was nobody around on her way to the break room.
Yeah, when did she
did they suddenly disappear?
Yeah, when did they go? I don't know.
How long are you aware of the last time you saw a person?
That's a great question. Yeah. So she just shrugs it off and is like, okay, and then just goes back into the break room and sits down. When she drinks from the can, she thinks she hears a deep moan, but she chalks it up to just being tired and delusional.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Suddenly, she feels a gush of warmth in her underwear.
Wow.
Immediately, she's like, I started my period early. Fuck, I didn't bring my Diva cup to work. Like, I am screwed. So I'm just going to have to put some toilet paper in my panties and pray for the best. Which I'm like...
The worst when that happens, but we've all been there.
I'm like, couldn't you ask a coworker? And then I remembered
apparently not. There's nobody there.
So she gets up from the table to go to the bathroom when suddenly she feels extra horny, which makes her believe maybe it's not her period. She's like,
that's interesting because I'm not sure I would eliminate period as an option, even so.
Okay, if you know me in the next 5 seconds, no, you don't. I get more horny on my period. I'm
a little like, that would not be like.
What does it matter?
No, feeling like I've gotten my period and then suddenly being horny wouldn't make me think that's not my period.
That can't be it.
These are separate.
She now believes that the energy drink made her super wet somehow.
It's the only logical conclusion.
Break her water that she did not know she needed to break.
Broke her horny water.
When she takes another drink, she knows for sure she isn't hearing things. The can is definitely moaning. So she sets it down and looks inside, but everything looks normal. Okay. She goes to pick it up again, and the can starts vibrating. And it's vibrating so hard that it's almost like falling over on the table, like rattling.
Like bouncing around.
Yes. So she steps away from it like 5 feet back, and it suddenly goes still on the table. Which only pisses her off because she's like, well, now it's all shook up and it's no good to drink. And I'm like, that logic doesn't work because you already opened the can. You're fucking fine.
First of all, now I'm concerned because you already opened the can and it's been like jumbling in your hands. Is there even an energy drink left? Is it spilling all over the place?
Well, I'll tell you where it is because she goes to lean over and look at it again and liquid shoots out from the top and coats her body.
Great.
She has it all over her face and she's like wiping the liquid from her eyes. And someone says, fuck, that's hot. And apparently it's because she has like makeup smeared on her face now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what I'm afraid might be energy drink jizz.
You might not be wrong. Standing in front of her is a giant sentient energy drink can. Oh, yeah. He is fully grown man.
How'd he get so big so fast?
It was the poof. It was like the poof. I don't know. It was the jizz. It was the fizz jizz. What can I tell you?
And became larger all at the same time.
Hey, we have had sentient objects, particularly a bear, change sizes due to ejaculating.
That's true.
Granted, that got smaller.
Yeah, this is confusingly opposite, but
yes. Okay, so he is standing there. He's literally, picture a can, because you're going to see it on the cover. Picture a can with really buff arms, really buff legs, and a face on the can.
Okay.
And he has an actual 6-pack made out of can tops. Okay.
Oh, no.
His can is a light blue aluminum, and it's cold to the touch. Like he's just frosty, you know?
Right.
He introduces himself as Sparky. Now, look.
Yeah, I'm afraid to look, but I'm already here.
Kaysie, I really appreciate you writing this piece. I know it's not meant to be serious. None of the pieces that we really read for this podcast are meant to be torn apart the way that we tear them apart. But I will say, Kaysie, it is crazy that you made a point of giving Sparky a name, but not our main character. And if I am wrong, I will eat my words. If I just missed her name somewhere in this story, but I don't think I did, I'm now petitioning that her name is Suzanne. So
her name is Suzanne now.
Her name is Suzanne, and she's got her Sparky. So he tells her not to get shy because she already made him pop his top, which that's technically what happened when she first opened him, like back at the very beginning. So it doesn't make sense to me that, you know, he sprayed after the fact. I digress. Okay. Some of the logic here doesn't quite make sense. But again, Kaysie, I'm not shitting on
giant energy drink. So then again.
Yeah. Then again, Kaysie, I'm really not shitting on your story. I just like to find the plot holes. Immediately, Suzanne is into this because she's saying, quote, I've read crazier things in books.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, at this point in our lives, we have too. They immediately are making out. I mean, like there is no hesitation. And he's got her up against a wall, kissing her, and she starts feeling a stretch at her temples.
What?
Do you want to guess what's happening?
A stretch? Is she turning into a can?
No. She reaches up to that area and finds 2 horns protruding from her head. The way your face just went completely blank.
It's just not what I thought you were going to say next.
I know. I think that's what makes this book so great is because literally at no point will you ever figure out what's happening next.
Okay.
So
didn't even give her wings, which would have been also funny.
Okay, good that you mentioned this because she's like, what the fuck? I thought you were going to give me wings. And he's like, oh no, that's another guy. I give you horns because I make you horny.
Oh my God.
And he winks at her and she has another gushing feeling in her panties when he does.
You would think she would be familiar with this because it's her favorite flavor.
Yeah. And she doesn't ever really talk about the horns again. So I do not know for the life of me if those horns stay for the entire rest of her life. I don't know if they go away. I don't know if they wear off along with the caffeine, whatever. Okay. Just know that they will never be addressed again. Okay.
Good.
I feel like you're really suppressing.
Good. No, it's
your
great.
sanity.
I'm just really in my art right now. You continue.
When she feels something poking at her down near their pelvic region, she asks him
another horn.
She asks him what it is, and he said, quote, that, my beautiful girl, is my canhood.
Okay.
Instead, you know, like instead of manhood.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot that you're not in the book world. That typically they refer to a man's penis as a manhood.
Sure. Yes, canhood.
And now it's a canhood.
I'm in there like swimwear now.
At first, it's like invisible. Like, I don't know how she felt it bulging, because when she steps away from him, there's nothing there. And so she goes to poke it. I think she even says the intrusive thought got the better of me, and I went to poke it, and it grows out of nowhere. Okay? Oh. And it is a can of the energy drink, and it's like the actual size of the can, not like a giant,
it's like a can-sized dick.
It's a can-sized dick, yes. So immediately she's like, no, that's not fitting. Absolutely not. And he assures her that they will make it fit. And then he starts calling her little devil. And if I had just grown horns and maybe I was a little insecure,
I was gonna say, I'm feeling a little self-conscious right now,
and you start calling me little devil, I'm going to have some problems with that. So she does give the can head. All right. And I do want you to picture.
Yeah, putting a whole can in your mouth. Yeah, I am.
And I want to think too, is it because sometimes cans, specifically like energy drink, like I think of energy drinks having slightly different dimensions than like soda can.
Yes,
or like
usually,
a pop,
usually taller.
Yeah, they're taller, sometimes narrower. Like I think about like a 5-hour energy. I think of like, or not 5-hour energy. What am I thinking? Not Monster. Why can't I think? Like a Red Bull. A Red Bull
is like skinnier and smaller.
So I'm like, okay, is it like that? Are we working with different dimensions? I don't know. But he is ice cold and he tastes like the energy drink, of course. And at one point she says, quote, I let him use my throat as a fleshlight.
Ooh, okay. Damn, girl.
Damn, girl.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
And then he sprays all over her. And I'm starting to really worry about
pregnancy. No, there would have been a warning.
No, there would have been a warning. And I'm worried about how much liquid he still has in him. Because if we recall way back, I know these are not the same authors. These are not the same worlds. But I like to believe every book we read are in the same world.
The greater Say Smut cinematic universe.
Yes. And I think about the Kool-Aid guy. Not Kool-Aid, Chill Assist.
You do mean Chill Assist. My favorite. Red.
Red being like, I can lose some off the top, and I splash out. And I'll be okay. You don't worry about me, and he has to like ejaculate every day to get some out of himself. Like
crazy word, but okay. Yeah, look, fine. Hey, my disbelief, I don't even have any.
None at this point in our career. So he sprays all over her and he directs Suzanne to get on the table. So she does it immediately. And he, instead of taking off her clothes, rips off her clothes. Underneath.
She's going to have to leave work eventually, you guys.
We'll get into it.
Oh, no.
This will be addressed. Underneath, she is wearing a matching bra and underwear set that is the same light blue color as the can.
Fate.
You want to hear the plot twist?
Yep.
She doesn't even own that underwear. She didn't even put that underwear on this morning.
Whoa, dude. That's the craziest plot twist we've ever had.
She's like, I didn't put these on. I don't even own these. She's like, I don't know what's going on.
Underpants before.
But okay.
Am I having an affair with myself?
Yeah. And there's no time to think about that because he starts playing with her tits and then we're suddenly going to Pound Town.
Yeah.
And he loves to throw out this one-liner in which he says, quote, I hope you're ready for the sparky schlong. I want to appreciate that this author really said, I'm going to put some of the most crazy statements.
Some of the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Schlong, fleshlight.
Not that sparky schlong, man.
Oh, his massive schlong and his ice-cold exterior is everything she could have ever wanted. Mm-hmm. Suzanne tells him she doesn't want him to stop, and he reminds her, quote, I'm an energy drink. I never run out of energy. And like condensation is dripping from his brow as he's like going at it.
They do that thing that happens in Titanic with the fogged up window and the handprint, and her hand just kind of swipes across this condensation all hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like right across the face too.
Yeah.
Like the animated, the clippy word animated face that I like to always envision.
Yeah. Good.
And he's like working her clitoris with his ice cold hands. And when they meet their climax, he just sprays absolutely everywhere. Okay. This man's dehydrated. Then when they come off the high of their orgasm, they decide it's time to get to know each other. She tells him about her cats and work, and he talks about what it's like being an energy drink.
Good. I'm glad they're taking time to get to know each other, actually.
After the fact, yeah. She decides it would be better. She's like, my life here in this world is really bland. I love this subplot that we've now put into a bunch of these books, which is take me with you.
It's like, I am a loner.
I hate everything here. Yeah. Take me wherever you go. Okay. I think the worst example of this was the mannequin one, where she goes to his unidentified planet, alien planet.
Look, just take me right up there.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So, she's like, you know what? Why don't you just take me with you? And he's like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to. I've never done that before. In fact, I don't even know when I'm going to get called back to like this other place. And she jumps on the table and looks down at his expiration date, and it says he's going to expire in 5 minutes.
So specific. I didn't know we were putting down to minutes, hours, and seconds.
Yeah. He only got 5 minutes to save the world.
Oh my God, that's so true. Yeah, not a lot of people know this, but Justin Timberlake is actually a big energy drink, and his expiration.
That's his secret. Like everyone thinks these celebrities are lizards. They're really just energy drinks.
Yeah.
So after a passionate kiss, he tells her he loves her, and he says to her that if he can bring her back with him, he will leave a single can of this specific energy drink in the vending machine. And she cries.
Yeah, I would too.
She's so emotional. And when she opens her eyes, Sparky is gone. She is fully clothed. She is back in the break room, and it is busy.
So everyone's there.
Everyone's there.
Amazing.
No one's paying attention to this crying girl who just appeared out of nowhere.
She just came from a sexy pocket dimension.
Exactly.
Of energy drink fornication.
For weeks, Suzanne is so depressed. I mean, like she's disassociating most of the time.
Yeah, sorry.
It's the scene in New Moon where Bella is sitting and the
Time
really
is
sad
just
song.
Months are going by. Months and months.
Just going.
And sometimes she's just sitting in front of a window, and sometimes she is screaming.
Yes.
In her sleep.
And finally, one day she walks into the break room and finds a single light blue energy drink. She pops the tab, she gives it a good rub down, and it explodes. Cut to the epilogue. Okay.
Amazing.
What do you think? Do you want to give us a vibe check where you think this is going to go?
Well, I hope that we get some sort of explanation of where it is exactly that he goes after he splooshes. We know that if he leaves a singular can, that means he can take her back. So surely he's taken her back and they're having a sexy time. Maybe they're just inside a fridge. I'm not sure how this works. Look, she got horns earlier. I simply don't know what's going to happen.
Again, I have to imagine if the clothing reappeared and stuff and she went back to normal, like the horns
a lot
disappeared.
Can happen. Yeah,
but
yes.
I don't know.
I bring up the horns to say I can't possibly predict what will happen next.
So in the epilogue, they just got done having sex. And she's like, okay, so before you turn me into whatever it is that you are, what is like our life goal? What is like our purpose in life? And he's like,
I do want kids.
Like, what do we do? And he's like, there's really nothing to do. We just like vibe and have fun. And she's like, I kind of expected us to have to do like a task or like some sort of trial, She's like, but I'm cool with vibing. It takes them a lot of practice, but they go into the ether. Okay, essentially. All right.
Yeah.
They're just souls. They're just things in the ether. And they try and stay together at all times when they are not sentient objects. Quote, we are just floating beings in the universe waiting for our next physical form. Okay.
Oh, holy shit.
So they like to possess things that come in pairs.
Obviously,
so that
like shoes.
Yeah. So,
Gloves.
and if you want to get really crazy with it, it could go back to help. I fell in love with a pair of Crocs.
That's true. Although no, it couldn't, because that's someone's parent / grandparent turning them into shoes to punish them for their, I think, queer thoughts, question mark? Can't remember.
Yes. And again, if we're working with the Say Smut cinematic universe, I really do think it just proves, though, that it can come around.
Mm-hmm.
What goes around?
A hockey stick and a hockey puck.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Precisely. Mm-hmm. So, okay, but she realizes that, like, she decides they want their goal in life to be what he originally started, which was fucking people. So they become
being a horny energy drink. Yeah.
But not just an energy drink. Hope, don't limit yourself.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Continue. Did he used to be something else that fucked people?
Just everything. So she's like, we like to go and become sentient and fuck people together. So now they have like this cute little open relationship.
Yeah,
that they are like
kind of they're like, me and my other energy drink saw you from across the room and we really liked your vibe.
Again, you're really limiting.
I know yourself. I'm limiting it, but I'm just presenting it as one of many examples.
Well, let me give you some examples.
Me and my other shoe saw you from across the bar and we were really into your vibe.
They have been salt and pepper shakers.
Me and
they have been pairs of shoes.
Obviously.
And they even were a set of wine glasses for a sad woman who just got left by her partner right after she got a big promotion and was planning on celebrating with him.
Well, I'm glad they could turn her day around.
I know. This is what their goal in life is now.
Changing lives.
Quote, so for now, I wish you farewell after reading our love story, and also keep an eye on random pairs of objects we might be coming for you next and have you coming for us. The end.
Threatening. Sexy and threatening.
Sexy, threatening. I do have one more surprise for you.
Okay.
There were chapter titles to this book.
There were chapters?
There are chapters to almost all of these books.
Each page a chapter. I guess there usually is a division, especially when there's like both perspectives and you switch back and forth. I will credit, but not necessarily in the 20 pagers.
No. Here are some of those titles.
Yeah.
It's too fucking late for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Canoodling with a can man.
Mm-hmm.
Introducing me to his canhood. Mm-hmm. When the sparks fly and my kitty purrs. Post spark clarity. Waiting for Can Charming to ride in on his royal vending machine. And epilogue, Daddy Sparky is my can man. Great work. That, my friends, is how you write energy drink smut, in my humble opinion. She's still clapping.
I am. Great work.
Okay, let's get to our scorecard. Diversity, zip, zilch, 0. Other than open relationship.
I was going to say, I actually disagree because we don't know anything about the main character.
This is true. You will see the energy drink on the cover.
Yes, but remember, he can take other forms.
He can.
He can.
You're so funny. I will say, I thought it was fun that they didn't just stick to themselves after they went and fucked some other people.
Look, they are horny. And other people deserve to be horny too.
Does she keep getting the horns?
I don't know. That seems like an energy drink specific thing, but I could be wrong.
That's totally fair. Plot. What are you going to give our plot? 5. What do you feel like the core plot was?
I mean, it's not so much that it's the baseline plot so much as I'm into just kind of the imaginary big world building that then went into it. It's honestly less to do with the story itself and everything to do with the ramifications of their relationship after the fact.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say I'm going to give it a 4. I did appreciate that we just jumped into the ether. It wasn't just like a one and done. Like, nope, we're just going to fuck and never see each other or explain anything ever again. Nope. We
float around. We
good.
Not completely at random because we can pick what we could be, but we become different objects that make people horny, and then we have a sexy time together, the three of us.
That's so true.
Yeah.
What are you going to give this? I'm going to give it a 4.
I am going to give it a 3.5.
Interesting. Do you want to back that up with anything?
Just because I wasn't personally that into it.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
But it was imaginative and creative, and in that way, I thought it was great.
They did go to Pound Town. It was imaginative. It was creative. Yeah, it was just a lot of spraying. It was a lot of spraying.
Sprayed a lot.
And she wasn't even the one spraying, which is kind of crazy. So, like I said, I'm going to give it a 4. Cover. Would you mind going and taking a gander at that cover for us? And let us know what it looks like.
Oh my God.
Yes, precisely.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
Okay, well. This is in all caps, but in varying sizes. So I'm just going to read it as I'm interpreting it based on the size of the capitalization. My energy drink sparks my kitty.
That's pretty accurate.
Kaysie Reads. There is, just as Sarah promised, a can with the most muscular arms and legs coming out of it that I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I personally know a bodybuilder, so that's really saying something. Sparky is a Spark Sip. It's got Spark Sip across his torso. There are a 6-pack of can abs.
Yes.
Oh, there's a literal 6-pack. He does not have a nose, but he does have a little smirk and kind of some I don't really know how to explain it. Very anime cartoony, smoldering eyes, and he has little red horns up top. He's wearing some high top sneakers. I think for the perspective of what I'm looking at, I'm going to say it looks like a true can-sized being with arms and legs on top of a desk with energy drink jizz on the ground behind him, because there's also background windows. It kind of looks like he's standing on a surface that is small. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, his dimension looks smaller. Yeah,
this is maybe turning into a big can man, but maybe he has all of his features, and then we just know that he gets bigger and looks exactly like this.
I'm confused why there are horns on him, because he didn't have horns to our knowledge.
In my drawing, which I will now show Sarah, he does not have personal horns. I did. I don't know why I did this. It was just my inspiration. I said, meet the main character, and I drew a mirror so that we could just self-insert.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
One.
But then he's got big arms and legs and a can dick.
Spraying.
I added the tagline "Makes you horny TM" with horns, and the S's in Spark and Sip are super S's, obviously. And he's got a big can top, and he's coming up top.
You even have the diagonal Spark Sip.
Yeah, I just had a. It's great.
That's so good. I will give this a 5.
This is incredible. This is a 5. Okay. This is the funniest thing I've ever looked at with my eyeballs.
No, it's so good.
I love him.
So that leaves you. That doesn't seem right. I don't think I did my math right here.
Math is hard.
Let me get.
People they love our podcast for our accurate numbers reporting at the tail end. That's just something that I know when we get all of our 5 out of 5 star reviews. They're like, I can't get enough of Sarah's ability to run the numbers at the end. They're
so efficient when they run those numbers.
Yeah, they're like, wow, these women love data.
We're women in STEM. What can I say?
We're women in STEM.
For some reason, my gut just tells me. Anyway, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's simple math, and I'm just going to trust the calculator. It is 90% for you, 86% for me. That is a really good rating. All around. Good. What was your Say Smut moment from the book?
What? The whole book. At one point, she got horns. At one point, she was looking down and miraculously was wearing a lingerie set to match the can that she does not own. Something we specifically know that she does not own and acknowledges. A whole small we are beings floating in the ether universe until we possess things that then make people horny. The whole thing.
Yeah, and I have to say the one-liners were pretty good too. The schlong, the fleshlight.
They fucked in a pocket dimension essentially, and then came to in a busy workplace. This book had chapter titles.
It did.
That alone could be a Say Smut. The titles of the chapters.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
100%. 100%. Well, folks, that was our book for the day. You can find us, if you so choose, on TikTok or Instagram at saysmutpodcast. Additionally, we'd love to hear your book recommendations. Send those our way via email at saysmutpodcast@gmail.com. And hey, reminder, we're going on hiatus until October. So if you want any updates in the meantime, head over to those social media channels and give us a follow, a like, whatever you want to call it. And maybe just possibly consider popping us a rating, since you love our rating system so much.
Yeah, you could.
Pop us a rating on the podcast platform of your choosing. And in the meantime, be careful about what you're drinking. Always keep an eye on your drinks.
If you are going to jump into the being of an object and make somebody horny, just ask first if that's cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, but then as soon as you get the high sign, go for it, baby.
Yeah. And make sure to rest up. And overall, stay smutty.
Stay so smutty, and we'll see you in a while.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.